Are you starting to feel like your HubSpot portal is getting a little crowded? It is a common sensation for rapidly growing companies. One day, you are celebrating your first successful automated email sequence in HubSpot Sales or Service Hub Professional, and the next, you are staring at a tangled web of 300 workflows, wondering why a lead was assigned to 3 different reps at once. When your business grows, your surface area expands. You aren't just selling one product to one type of person anymore. You might be launching new business units, expanding into international territories, or managing a complex web of partner relationships. This is the moment where growth turns into scaling. While growth is simply getting bigger, scaling is about getting better, increasing revenue while keeping your overhead and internal chaos to a minimum. If you find yourself hitting the complexity ceiling, it might be time to look toward future-proofing your revenue operations. But how do you know when the jump from professional to enterprise is actually worth the investment? Let's look at the data, the features, and the strategic shifts required to make that leap. The inflection point: why making it work is costing you money. In the early stages of a company, making it work is a badge of honor. You use workarounds, you use custom properties where you should probably use custom objects, and you manually export data into Excel to get the reports you need. However, as you scale, these workarounds become technical debt. Technical debt is the silent killer of RevOps efficiency. According to recent industry benchmarks, organizations with tightly aligned revenue operations (RevOps) functions see a 19% faster growth rate and 15% higher profitability than those that don't. Why? Because they aren't wasting time fixing broken data or manual processes. They have built a foundation that handles scale automatically. The question isn't just about whether you need more contacts. It is about whether your team can trust the data they see. If your sales team is complaining that their dashboards are cluttered with marketing noise, or if your finance team can't reconcile closed-won deals with actual revenue, you aren't just facing a software limitation, you are facing a scaling crisis. Future-proofing your tech stack means moving from a tool that simply records activity to a system that orchestrates your entire business. Managing complexity with business units. One of the primary reasons companies move to HubSpot Enterprise is the need for business units. In a professional portal, everything is under one roof. This works fine if you have one brand and one primary audience. But what happens when your company acquires a new brand? Or when you launch a B2B division that needs to be completely separate from your B2C operations? Business units are an add-on that gives you the ability to create multiple brands in a shared HubSpot portal across multiple tools. Without business units, your all contacts view becomes a mess. You risk sending a B2B promotional email to a B2C customer, or worse, violating GDPR or CCPA regulations because your subscription preferences aren't segmented properly. With HubSpot Enterprise business units, you can manage separate branding for each entity. Keep assets like emails, forms, and pages organized by brand. Control which users have access to which brand's data. This isn't just about organization, it's about risk management. Think about the mental load on your team when they have to double-check every single filter to make sure they aren't accidentally emailing the wrong database. By segmenting these units, you reduce the human error variable in your growth equation. Data governance, beyond simple dashboards. Data is only useful if it's clean and accessible. In HubSpot Professional, you have a limit on the number of dashboards and custom reports you can build. For a small team, 25 dashboards feels like plenty. For a scaling enterprise, it feels like a cage. When you move to enterprise, you gain access to advanced reporting and dataset management. This is where RevOps really shines. Instead of just looking at how many leads did we get last month, you can start asking deeper, more inquisitive questions. What is the actual ROI of our multi-touch attribution model? Which specific content pieces are most likely to move a lead from the consideration phase to the decision phase? How does the average time to close vary across different product lines and regions? Statistics from Gartner show that 80% of companies report that data-driven decision-making is a top priority, yet very few feel they have the right tools to actually execute on that vision. Enterprise reporting allows you to join data from different objects, like deals, tickets, and custom objects, into a single, coherent story. Furthermore, the dataset management tool allows RevOps leaders to curate data for their teams. Instead of a sales manager trying to navigate 500 different properties to find the close date, you can create a sales performance dataset that only includes the 10 properties they actually need. This makes reporting faster, cleaner, and much less intimidating for non-technical users. The safety net, using sandboxes for innovation. Have you ever hit publish on a complex workflow and then spent the next hour frantically checking to make sure it didn't accidentally email your entire customer base? If so, you need a sandbox. A sandbox is a mirror of your production portal where you can test integrations, workflows, and custom code without risking your live data. In a professional portal, you are essentially coding in production. In an enterprise portal, you have a laboratory. As you scale, your automations will naturally become more complex. You might be using programmable automation to fetch data from an external API or to calculate complex lead scores based on real-time behavior. Testing these in a live environment is a recipe for disaster. Think of it this way. You wouldn't build a skyscraper without a blueprint and a scale model. Your CRM is the skyscraper of your revenue engine. The sandbox is your blueprint. It allows your RevOps team to iterate faster because they aren't afraid of breaking the portal. This psychological safety leads to more innovative solutions and a more robust technical architecture. Custom objects, making HubSpot speak your language. Standard CRM objects, contacts, companies, deals, and tickets are great for most businesses. But what if your business model doesn't fit into those boxes? Maybe you are a real estate firm that needs to track properties, or a medical device company that needs to track clinical trials, or a SaaS company that needs to track product instances or certifications. In the professional tier, you are often forced to use custom properties or deals to track these things, which is like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. It makes reporting difficult and nearly impossible to manage workflows. Custom objects in HubSpot Enterprise allow you to build a CRM that reflects your actual business operations. You can create a property object and associate it with multiple contacts and deals. This structural flexibility is the hallmark of a future-proofed system. It ensures that as your business evolves, your software evolves with you, rather than becoming a bottleneck that prevents you from entering new markets. Security and permissions, the need-to-know basis. As your team grows from 10 people to 100 or 500, the everyone is an admin philosophy becomes a massive security risk. In 2023, the average cost of a data breach reached $4.45 million. While most people think of breaches as external hacks, many data disasters are internal. A well-meaning team member accidentally deleting a massive segment of contacts, or a disgruntled salesperson exporting the entire database before leaving. HubSpot Enterprise provides the lock and key features necessary for a large organization. Hierarchical teams. Mirror your organizational chart so managers can see their team's data, but not necessarily the data of a parallel department. Field-level permissions. This is a game changer. You might want your sales team to see a credit score property, but you don't want them to be able to edit it. Or perhaps you want to hide sensitive financial information from everyone except the finance team. Single sign-on SSO. This ensures that when an employee leaves the company and their main corporate account is deactivated, they automatically lose access to HubSpot. These features aren't just about being strict. They are about providing a clean, focused user experience. When a user only sees the tools and data they need to do their job, they are more productive and less likely to make mistakes. Technical RevOps and programmable automation. The jump to enterprise is often triggered by a need for technical RevOps. This is the intersection of traditional operations and software engineering. With programmable automation, you can use JavaScript within HubSpot workflows. Why does this matter for scaling? Imagine you have a complex commission structure that depends on the product type, region, and contract length. A standard workflow can't calculate that. But with programmable automation, you can write a script that does the math instantly and updates the deal record. Or imagine you need to verify a VAT number against an external database the moment a deal is created. Programmable automation can call that database, get the answer, and update HubSpot in seconds. This level of automation eliminates manual data entry, the single biggest source of friction in a scaling company. Assessing the cost-benefit, in-house versus partnered RevOps. The move to enterprise is a significant financial commitment, not just in software licensing, but in human capital. An enterprise portal is a sophisticated engine. It needs a skilled mechanic. Many companies face a dilemma. Do we hire a full-time HubSpot Enterprise architect, which can be expensive and hard to find, or do we try to manage it with our existing team? This is where the concept of RevOps as a service becomes highly attractive. By partnering with experts who have managed dozens of enterprise migrations, you avoid the common pitfalls, like dirty data migrations or poorly architected custom objects that can haunt a company for years. Whether you build an internal team or use a partnered model, the goal remains the same: ensuring your CRM is an asset, not a liability. You need someone who understands the technical nuances of HubSpot's enterprise features and how they align with your overarching business goals. Preparing for the migration, a roadmap. If you've decided that enterprise is the right move, you can't just flip a switch. A successful transition requires a roadmap. The audit. Look at your current professional portal. What workflows are currently broken? What data properties are redundant? Cleaning up your house before you move into a mansion is essential. The object map. Define your custom objects before you build them. How will they relate to your existing data? The governance plan. Determine who will have super admin access and what the field level permissions will look like. The training phase. Your team is used to the professional way. They need to be shown how the new enterprise tools, like datasets and business units, will actually make their lives easier. The ROI of future-proofing. At the end of the day, moving to HubSpot Enterprise is about buying back time and reducing risk. It's about ensuring that when your CEO asks for a report on customer lifetime value by region, it takes 5 minutes to generate, not 5 days. Scaling is a journey, not a destination. By investing in an enterprise infrastructure, you are telling your team and your investors that you are ready for the next level of complexity. You are moving away from reactive firefighting and toward a proactive, data-driven revenue strategy. Is your current setup ready for the next $10 million in revenue, or is it held together by duct tape, manual spreadsheets, and a prayer? If it's the latter, the path to enterprise isn't just a software upgrade, it's a business necessity. How Aspiration Marketing can help transitioning from HubSpot Professional to Enterprise is a high-stakes move. It requires a deep understanding of technical architecture, data governance, and change management. You don't have to navigate this transition alone. At Aspiration Marketing, we specialize in helping growing companies navigate the complexities of RevOps. Whether you need a comprehensive portal audit, a custom object implementation, or ongoing admin accelerator support, our team ensures that your HubSpot instance is perfectly tuned to your business goals. We don't just set up software. We build revenue engines. We help you move from making it work to making it scale. Would you like to see if your current HubSpot setup is ready for the leap? Let's chat about a RevOps audit to identify your growth bottlenecks and build a roadmap for your enterprise future.